It's the most exciting weekend on the campuses of Ithaca College and SUNY Cortland for the entire year. 3 games of Cortica matchups, beginning with women's basketball, in the middle men's basketball, and to finish it off, it's the Cortica Jug on Saturday between both football teams. Right now, it's Thursday night, which means it's the second course of the weekend. Men's basketball, SUNY Cortland versus Ithaca in matchups that have been exciting and historic over the past few years. Welcome to Bomber Sports. Devin Jarvis alongside Colin Martin with Molly Golden on the sidelines. A fantastic evening we had ahead of you with a lot of uncertainties between these two teams, but a lot of fun. And Colin, how could you not be excited for a weekend like this and a fantastic game on deck?
Devin, it's not even just the rivalry. Yes, Cortland and Ithaca, and hey, they don't like each other too much if you haven't heard, but also the actual product that's coming on the court tonight. 2 teams 0-1, both teams with losses that they really didn't think they should have sustained. 2 games where minor factors really pushed them all the way out. And now coming up, a chance for one team to hit back to 500 and another to have their season start 0-2. A lot on the line, a big one coming up for both sides.
Well, the Cortica story started earlier tonight with a 73-44 victory in favor of the Cortland women's basketball team. And now we see it once again, trying to even this series on the weekend. We'll send it to a short break here in Cortland, New York at Whitney T. Corey Gymnasium and be back with some Cortica basketball in just a moment after the national anthem. Tip-off just moments away here in Cortland, New York, so it's time to send things to the third member of our team on the sidelines in Molly Golden.
Devin, as we've been talking about all week, it's a new era in men's basketball as Mike McSloy takes over this program and brought some help along with him. He brought Matthew Zenker with him, a transfer with him back from Drew University, and after a season with him, he made the move to here with his coach. And McSloy basically said having Matt with me makes the transition easier because there's a familiar face in the program. And Matt Zenker, the transfer, he started 10 games last year for Drew last year, averaged 11.5 points a game for the entire season, and a new force here for this Bomber team. Guys.
What an exciting player Matthew Zenker is in his debut with the Ithaca Bombers on Saturday. 26 points, which was quite the first impression for the Bombers despite the loss.
And you know the best part about Matthew Zenker? Yeah, maybe it's the intensity. It's also because he doesn't care what his stat total looked like. He is an ultimate competitor. He just wanted the win. Plays incredibly tight defense. You'll be hearing his name flying all over the court tonight. And no matter how well he plays, no matter how many points he puts up, hey, he can put up 36. If Ithaca doesn't win this game, he's not going to walk out of here with a smile on his face. That's what makes him special.
Well, let's go over those starters for you today's game with tip-off just a moment away. It's the home Cortland Red Dragons beginning their starting 5 with the senior Isaiah Austin out of Albany, New York. Captains on the floor, 3 of them all starters. Gage Armbruster, the captain out of Oakfield. Aaron Costin out of Kerhonkson, as well as Kendall Arcuri making his debut on this season with the Red Dragons. Joel Davis is the last one to finish things out. On the other side for the Bombers, Jalen O'Neill, Cole Wisink, Matt Zenker, Alex Penders, and Evan Cabral, their starting 5. An exciting game ahead. The Ithaca Bombers in their navy blue road uniforms. New unis this year, a white stripe down the sides of the uniforms with white numerals and letterings on the front and back. For Cortland on the other side, red block letters to their white uniforms with red accents all around on the bottom of their shorts and on the sides of the sleeves. Ithaca will start possession moving right to left, Cortland left to right, as tip-off comes at the Cortland C with a red dragon wrapped around it at center court. Once again, Cortica weekend here for both campuses. The spirits are quite high, and this gym filling in with fans for both the Red Dragons and the Bombers.
I think the most exciting part about this Bombers lineup is they're going to shoot a whole lot of threes, but they can run. A rotation of bigs that we'll dive into when each of them individually make an impact in this game. But with the starter Alex Penders, he can space the floor, and you also know in transition, you got a great outlet passer and someone that can run both lanes.
6'4" Joel Davis against 6'5" Alex Penders for the tip-off at midcourt as we get going here for 40 minutes in Cortland, New York at Whitney T. Corey Gymnasium. It's won by the Red Dragons. Armbruster top of the key. He swings it left wing to Aaron Costin. Costin starts his dribble left hand. Picks up defense as Penders, lobs one underneath. Davis back to the basket, spins on the post against Zenker, takes the shot underneath off the window and through for the first points of the game.
Yeah, Joel Davis, third team All-SUNY last season. Works really well in the post, going to be a tough task for Zenker.
2-0 the score in favor of the Red Dragons. Bombers moving right to left on the hardwood. Bounce pass underneath. Evan Cabral pushes the window, gets fouled as he goes up and hits the charity stripe. Overall, Cabral not the best when it comes to shooting from the line. Shot just around 50 one season ago. So far this season shooting 25, just one game in.
But when we had a chance to talk to Evan just days ago, he talked about consistency, and that starts at the free throw line for a lot of guys. He's got a good jumper, good mechanics. Expect this year the free throws to maybe fall at a higher clip.
The first one does rattle down after connecting with the rim, left side up and down. The Bombers staying energetic here with a new head coach. You wouldn't expect to say that after their first conference championship, as the next one from Corral hits the back of the rim and is collected. Aaron Costin with the rebound, the captain, as he starts the dribble from the left side. Cole Wisink on the defense against Costin as he comes across midcourt. His back to the basket now, left wing. Shuffles to the left side, switches his dribble to his right hand, bounces a pass to the left side there for Joel Davis. Davis now on the baseline, gets it knocked free by the defender in Zenker. Ball still loose, kicked away, but it goes out of bounds after ricocheting against Alex Penders and stays with the Red Dragons.
That matchup is going to be one to watch all night long. Davis in the post on Zenker has a little bit of weight, but once again, Zenker is tenacious on defense. Those two are going to be in for a dogfight.
Davis inbounds it from the far side to the left wing for Armbruster. Armbruster not the highest scorer, but a great leader on this team. Shot clock going down. Armbruster top of the key. Has to give it away. Can't quite find it. It was Isaiah Austin who had the ball last as the shot clock expires and the possession transfers to the blue team.
Yeah, and that's all Evan Cabral on that possession. Austin wants the lane desperately. Can't get it. A bunch of kickouts around the perimeter, but Cabral is playing like glue on his man. Makes it a really tough shot to get off.
2-1 Cortland leads. Jalen O'Neill, the point guard, brings the ball up. He stands at the left wing, passes it to the right side for Penders. Now top of the key for O'Neill. Takes a three off the back iron. Ball knocked loose. O'Neill gets his own rebound on the right wing. Charge the lane. Chest pass left wing. Cabral. Cabral spins with the dribble in his left hand, pushes forward, has to give the ball three. Right corner, Wisink, his three off the front rim and down. Rebound, second chance points, no good by O'Neill on the right block. And a rebound by Cortland as they bring things the other way with 18:20 to go on the clock. Other side, Isaiah Austin, the far side corner. He moves to his right side, finds himself at the left wing. Costin, now the captain, dribbles, moves to his right. And the first touch of the night for Arcuri now is on the right wing. He spins around, moves in, kicks the right side. Costin, his three from the right wing, out and no good. Rebound by the point guard in Cabral as he brings the ball up the floor with 18 to go. Bombers down by one. Cabral pushes in. Ball comes loose. His first turnover of the day. Bombers had 31 last time. Austin in transition. Lobs wasn't there. Davis. His layup no good. Sandwiches itself between the wedgie of the rim and the backboard. Now Bombers have a fast break. Wissink, 3 left wing, spirals out. And now we slow things down. Something to note, not a huge press from the Bombers to start. That's their defensive identity already this season.
Gonna have to try different things. You know, with Cortland, they've watched the film. They're expecting a Bombers press. You almost throw them off when you pull the guys back.
Transfer, Zenker gets it free. Passes to Cabral, left wing. Pushes up the floor, finds it back to Wissink in the left corner. Now back to Cabral, left wing. Yo-yos the ball as he crawls toward the mid-court line and resets. Now drives the lane. Behind the back pass, spins, goes underneath, off the window and down. Incredible bucket by Cabral as the Bombers lead 3-2 with 17 to go in the half.
That's elite level footwork. That spin move is a turnover 9 times out of 10, but not with Evan Cabral. Finds the glass.
Kendall Arcuri, he is battling a little bit of a sickness going into this game. Not sure if he was going to play. Found out yesterday he was, so maybe not 100%. We are not sure though. Curry does have it left wing. O'Neal, mismatched size-wise on the defense. Back to Austin, top. Moving 3 off the right of the rim and out of bounds as the Bombers get the ball. 16:41 left in the half. Ithaca up by 1, 3-2.
I think Cortland's senior guard, Isaiah Austin, needs to find a rhythm. Was trying to do too much in the fast break, threw a lob when you have the layup wide open, then wants to get it all back in one shot, steps into a moving 3. He's a heck of a player, incredibly talented. I think just letting things fly a little bit too loose in his home court.
Took a lot of shots in his first game, shot only 20% from the field throw with 6 points in just 24 minutes in game 1. Laysith checks onto the floor alongside Lemons. Couple subs out there for the Bombers. Lawrence Brady out there as well. Lemons the first year in the right corner, pushes forward against Austin, kicks it away. Top of the key now O'Neal. He steps up, fakes the shot, continues his dribble, drives down the lane left side, and stays strong against Armbruster. Looking for a pass, has it shallow high post. Lemons lifts one up as the shot clock expires, collected by Arcuri on the right block with 16 to go in the first half. Bombers showing a lot of depth. That's what they do so well. On the other side, it's Davis trying to respond. Davis, the junior, underneath, spins, right hook shot, no good. Good defense by Zenker. Goes up once again. He's fouled on the way up, doesn't get the points. We'll head to the charity stripe for 2 shots.
Yeah, look at head coach Mike McSloy on the sideline, motioning to Zenker, hey, you got to get your positioning right. You can't let a man wall you up right under the rim like that. It's a tough task against an incredible player with a size disadvantage. That shows how much Coach McSloy trusts Zenker to be on the right side of that matchup.
Really impressive matchup, both sides. Cortland still have their starters in as the first shot from Davis rings free, no bucket. Again, that's Austin, Armbruster, as well as Davis, Costin, and Arcuri for the Red Dragons. No checkouts yet. On the other side for the Bombers, it's Lemons, Brady, Zenker, Laysith, and Cabral, who just checks in replacement for O'Neal. Second one also rings out, front of the rim, out of the backboard, and into the hands of Matthew Zenker as he brings the ball up. No shots for the guy with 26 points in his debut just this past Saturday. Top of the key, the Liberty League Rookie of the Year in Layson. Gives the ball over to Evan Cabral. Now Lemons on the left wing, 11 points in his debut with the Bombers. Other side, Cabral dashes down the baseline off the backboard and free. No shot good. Bombers still up by 1 with 15:30 left to go in the half. Arcuri underneath, beautiful spin move. Left hook shot, can't get it to go. Ball free, Isaiah Austin steal toward the basket, off the white square and in. 4-3 the score in favor of Cortland, and a slugfest so far without a lot of scoring.
That's what Austin needs to get back in his groove. Great defense, puts Cortland in the driver's seat.
Zenker, top of the key. He's being guarded closely by Davis. Hands the ball off to Lemons. His three-pointer rings free off the back of the iron into the hands of Arcuri in the right corner of the basket. Possession slows down. 15 to go as Cortland leads by 1. Armbruster across midcourt, dashes to the left side, hands it off to Davis. Back to Armbruster, right wing. Austin has it now. The twitchy point guard moves to his left, steps up, a deep 2. This one cashes it.
Isaiah Austin moving in that long sweep like the Washington Wizards' Bub Carrington. So smooth. Twitchy's the perfect word. A really hard guard.
Cortland up 6-3. Cabral has it. Right wing. Second team on Liberty League a season ago. Hands it off to Laysith. Deep 3, just too strong. Austin with the rebound on the left block. 14-15 to play in the half. with Cortland up 6-3, looking to make it a 2-possession game. Would be the largest lead of the night. They already have that. Another deep through. Austin couldn't quite get it on the deep mid-range. 14 to play. Lemons in transition, moving right to left. Hands it off to his veteran teammate in Cabral on the right wing. Yo-yo dribble with his left hand. Dashes left after the screen from Lathis. Pushes in. Floater. Wedgie. Can't get it to go. And once again picked up on the other side. Costin with the rebound that time. Forward pass outlet. Was looking for Davis in the left corner. Broken up by Zenker as subs come on. It's McKiernan on for his debut with the Bombers this season. Yoav Regev as well as David Lubarov. Subs also out there for the Red Dragons. The starting 5 right now not completely on the floor for either side. It's O'Neal, Cabral, McKiernan, Lubarov, and Regev for the Bombers. On the other side, Xavier LaVille steps on, as well as Chris McDonald, among other names. Nolan Raymond out there too. They join Arcuri and Davis. LaVille, 17 points in his first game debut with the Red Dragons, got the start. He hands it off to the far side for Raymond. Outside Arcuri, left wing 3, through the nylon and in. 9-3 the score in favor of Cortland. 13:30 to play in the half.
Bombers got to slow it down, get comfortable in the half court. It's easier with Lubarov out there.
Ithaca 1 for the last 10, field goals scoreless for 3.5 minutes. McKiernan top of the key, his first touch of the season. Gets it over to O'Neal on the right wing. Good defense by Raymond underneath. Spinning is O'Neal, turns the ball over. Possession will stay with the Bombers though. Last touch against Xavier LaVille.
And in the women's game right before this, you talk so much about when you have a big, when you have size at this level of hoops, it's all about if you can get clean entry passes in. That's what they're trying to do with David Lubarov here.
Lubarov, first touch off the inbound. It goes to Cabral left wing, now underneath to Lubarov. High post left side, backing his way to the basket. Muscles underneath, off the backboard, and rims down. Lubarov gets his second bucket of the year as term of field goal. It's 9-5 the score in favor of Cortland. The press out now for the Bombers, giving Cortland some trouble. Raymond's able to push through underneath. Now it's Davis right side working against O'Neal. Defense switches. Left side Arcuri in his first game. Pushes forward. The defender is Lubarov. Able to lift one outside. Deep 3 this time, right wing. Davis, yes sir. First one to double digits is Cortland, 12-5. They lead with 12:30 to go. Fast in transition, Bombers though, moving things quick. It's Cabral who slips underneath, turns the ball over. Davis with the steal, other way now. Davis to the basket, high flying, foul on the way up, no bucket.
Joel Davis, last season as a sophomore, 11 double-doubles. Well, he picked up a double-double in his first game of Cortland season this year. At the moment, moving incredibly smooth, picking up bucket after bucket. Still early, but looking just like his same old self. That is so impactful for this Red Dragons team.
Davis's second trip to the free throw line now. He went 0 for 2 the first time. Total has 2 points right now in his now nearly 8 minutes. His first shot, no good. Off the front of the rim and outside. 12-16 left in this first half. Mike McSloy getting his first taste of the Cortica rivalry. Stepped onto the hill. He kind of was hearing from other people about what this rivalry was. Talked about this game as the appetizer for the weekend. Second one from Davis, also no good. 0 for 4 on the day. Lubarov the rebound, gives it up to McKiernan. He pushes to the left wing. Finds his center in Lubarov at 6'9", tallest player on the Bombers roster. Cabral now has it. Press defense on the other side. Yoav Regev, corner 3, left side. Couldn't get it. It's a rebound on the other wide by Kendrick Wilson. Nolan Raymond, left wing now. Has it himself. Defense by Cabral. Gives it up to Lavelle. Now other side, Wilson. On the right wing, guarded by O'Neal. Rotates to the top of the key, looking for a pass, does so. Davis fakes the 3. 5-9 to go on the shot clock. Davis still nothing. Has to hand it off. Raymond pushes underneath. Deep 2 from the free throw line. Can't get it. Rebound by Regev on the left block. Bombers moving fast. McKiernan left wing. Hands it off to O'Neal, also left wing. Crosses court. Deep 3 this time from Regev. Too strong. Bombers fight for the O board. Can't get it. It's Lavelle who comes down with it with 11:15 to go, and Cortland up 12-5.
The Bombers are just settling too often. You can't convert down low. Well, Lubarov was working pretty hard on the post, but Regev just settles for a deep 3. You got to be more aggressive on the offensive front.
Deep three this time from Raymond. Can't get it, misses left. O-board on the other side by Jordan Kador. Underneath, they push. It stays with Cortland as the ball's knocked out of bounds against David Lubarov. Zenker back in, checks on for Yoav Regev, as well as Wissink to check on for Cabral. So out there for the Bombers, Lubarov, Zenker, Wissink, O'Neal, and McKiernan. Rather, Pender's a late substitution to come on for McKiernan. On the other side, it's Raymond, it's Wilson, as well as Lavelle, Davis, and Costin. Inbound three comes. That goes down for Aaron Costin. 15-5 the score now with 10:45 to play.
Bombers shooting 2 for 13 from the floor, 0 for 8 from 3. You got to work for an easy look.
6-0 run right now. Pass underneath was looking for Zenker. O'Neal turns the ball over. His bounce pass just a little bit too strong. Kendrick Wilson steps up midcourt. Now finds himself with Costin, who hands it off to the left wing for Raymond. Wing pass back to Costin. Back-to-back threes. No this time. Front iron, out loose. Rebound by Cortland, though. Costin keeps it, top of the key. Hands it off to Raymond. Raymond spinning in the paint. Works around. Right hook shot, can't get it. Rebounded by Zenker. 10 to play in the half. Zenker pushes forward. Hasn't taken a shot yet. Does this time. Easy. Able to get the points as Mike McSloy calls himself a 30-second timeout with 10:03 to play in the half. 15-7 on the score. Let's send things now down to the sideline for Molly Golden.
Thanks so much, Devin. As we all know, Evan Cabral exploded last year in his sophomore season and ended it all with 13 points a game averaging and a second-team All-Liberty League NOG. And coming into the season, McSloy credited Cabral for helping with his transition, and Jalen O'Neal and Chris Laseth. He said, their leadership combined with our seniors and our juniors have made my transition more seamless and have helped me to get my first years more and everyone else up to speed more quickly and help me integrate more with this team. Guys?
A big piece of that transition is assistant coach Mike McSloy, who returns this season for the Bombers after spending a year with this Liberty League Championship winning squad just a season ago. He's a guy that the players love, and McSloy seems to be already accompanying friends with him.
Yeah, it's the two Mikes that are leading the head of this program. McSloy's the new guy, but keeping Sasso along was a big move for this Bombers team. They buy in with him. He's a true players coach. He's made the transition a lot easier for everyone involved.
Out of the timeout, Cortland begins with possession. Full court press for the Bombers, 25 on the shot clock. They cross the midcourt line with 22. Slowing things down now, Kendrick Wilson off the right wing. It's Wissink on the defense. Bounce to the top of the key for McDonald. McDonald gives it up left side. Now Costin. The captain, Costin, fresh off of a three, moves himself to the left side. On the elbow, back to the basket. Spins, doesn't like his shot. Works underneath, hook shot, can't get it. Ball knocked loose off the backboard. Rebound, McDonald. Top of the key, Wilson thinks about the deep three, doesn't take it. Drives, ball collected by both sides. It's going to be a foul against Jalen O'Neal as he reached around Kendrick Wilson. 9:28 to go here in half number one. 15-7 the score. Wilson to inbound from the far side of the basket. Lobs one up to Costin, left wing. Laseth on the defense, Liberty League Rookie of the Year, a strong defender. Wilson now gets the handoff, twitches the left side. Pull-up jumper from the elbow. Back iron out, snatched out of the air by Laseth, but knocked free by Costin. Possession stays with Cortland. One more this time. Raymond to the basket, and good off the backboard.
That is a grown man's take by the freshman Nolan Raymond.
17-7 the score, 9 to play in the half. Zenker moved quickly, thought about a shot, slows things down. Top of the key, it's Laseth, the sophomore, pushing forward. Hitting his most minutes comparatively to last game. Hands it off to Wissink. Wissink, quick trigger three, just rattles down. Bombers get their first points since that timeout, trying to push forward. 17-10 the score with 8:40 here in half number one. Bombers keep it pushing forward. Kendrick Wilson, 5 steps off the left wing. Zenker on the defense. Starts his dribble with his right hand, bounces one underneath to the right elbow, and Costin. Chest toward the basket, working against Laseth. Spins around, right side hook shot with ease. Gets it over Laseth to bring Cortland to 19. They're up by 9 over the Bombers.
That is really tough for Chris Laseth. You're in the right spot, just so much size on Costin. You get pushed underneath the rim, easy layup.
Zenker in the corner, has to pass the ball 3. Almost comes loose. Jalen O'Neal nearly keeps it in his grasp. Cortland able to force a turnover. Bombers doing the same thing. Costin stops that from happening. Under 8 and ticking here in half number 1 with a lead at 9 for Cortland, looking to make it double digits. Underneath, oh my goodness! Nolan Raymond falling down, gets the shot through. 21-10 the score. Zenker transition pushes forward, is fouled as he steps into the paint. Whistle is blown. Cabral to check in, as well as Lubarov and Brady.
A couple of really tough defensive possessions for Chris Lasith. He's an intelligent defender. His body's in the right spot. His feet are set. But just some really strong weight room-like activities from Nolan Raymond, just pushing him off time and time again, picking up 2 easy layups.
After some check-ins, it's Wilson, Austin, Arcuri, Costin, as well as Davis out there, or excuse me, Armbruster out there for Cortland. On the other side, here's Lubarov spinning against Costin. Fakes his shot, goes back up, can't get it, not fouled. Armbruster with the rebound. 7:30 here in half number 1. Armbruster pushing forward, kicks the corner. Wilson doesn't like his shot, drives baseline instead. Left wing now Austin, leading scorer right now for the Red Dragons. Gives it up to Costin. Costin pushes the basket. Easy work once again against the Bomber center and Lubarov.
Ithaca's getting sloppy underneath the rim. That's where Cortland's got all of their last buckets. Got to wall up.
7 minutes in the half, 13-point lead for Cortland. On the elbow, right side is Lubarov. Chest pass to the right wing for Brady. Now top of the key, Cabral. Twitchy dribble, fakes his pass, holds it and gives it up to Zenker. Zenker, right wing, fakes the 3. Arcuri on the defense, playing close. First team All-SUNY a season ago. Back to the top of the key. Here's a deep one from Lubarov with his foot on the line, just short on the 3-ball attempt. 13 points, still the lead, 23-10 in favor of Cortland with 6:30 to play in the half. Costin, he likes this matchup. Him and Lubarov, left block. Slow dribble, spins, baseline, goes up with it. Foul on the floor before the shot. And not a lot of fouling so far, so only the 4th team foul of the half for Ithaca. That one just makes it an inbound.
It's been a clean game, and it's been easy for Cortland not to foul because Ithaca's been settling far too far from the rim. Makes it easy for them to just watch shots clank.
Costin, the captain, spins underneath again. Can't get it this time. Snatched out of the air by McKiernan. Fast in transition. Here comes Wissing. Behind the back pass. Brady, 3. Air ball picked up by Austin on the baseline. 6 to play in the half. 23-10 the score in favor of Cortland. Costin has been that main guy for this team. He works slowly. Finds Arcuri. High post right side. Shouldering against Brady. Muscles his way, now finds Austin left wing for a 3, can't get it. Tipped into the hands of Evan Cabral as he starts his charge slowly. Across the C at midcourt. Now puts on the burners. Ball lost behind him though. Can he keep it in his hands? Passes it away. Picked up by Costin. Numbers here for Cortland. Austin transition. Up, down, around. Shovel shot to score. 25-10. It's domination from Cortland in both games so far.
You just heard the crowd right there. That's that classic Jelly Fam Mafia. Beautiful stuff.
Open in transition. Wilson to the basket. Layup is good. Stole the ball there on the other side from the Bombers.
The 5'11 Wilson thought about a slam, took the layup. Great defense from Cortland, put him in the driver's seat.
Quick 3 from Cabral. Tough shot contested. Hits off the right side of the rim, out into the air and into the hands of Wilson on the right block.
You want to see more composure from the Bombers. They are settling time and time again. It's really giving the Red Dragons some extra gas.
Ithaca started slow last time, are doing it the same today. Under 5 and ticking. Austin, right corner 3, back iron, free, ball still loose. Arcuri taps it into his hands like Dennis Rodman. Back to the right wing again. Wilson's 3 this time could not go, but he gets his own rebound. Behind the back, backs, fakes him out, goes to the right wing here for Arcuri. McKiernan on the defense. Arcuri tries the lane with his left hand, too strong off the glass, and into the hands of Lasith. Cabral now pushes. Left wing Brady. He slows his dribble and brings things to a halt for the Bombers with 4:30 to play in the half. Up, or rather down by 17, 27-10. Cabral now space, floater from the baseline, just can't get it. Ball loose. Cabral tried to chase for it, but it's Wilson who slows things down. 4:10 here in the half to play as a timeout is called by this side of Cortland. Maurice Kearney right there in his 3rd season with the team. Led them to a SUNY playoff title 1 season ago. Entered the tournament as a third seed and punched their bid to the national tournament. Eventually fell to NYU, the runners-up in the national tournament. Now the home of previous Ithaca head coach will lead Fareed.
That NYU coaching staff has had so many great coaches come through it, and there's a Liberty League and SUNYAC sort of pipeline there. Talking more about where Cortland resides in the SUNYAC, while it's not known as a basketball powerhouse, consistently there's a whole lot of competition towards the top. Incredibly impressed with the show Cortland put on last year to be the conference champions out of the tournament, but at the very least you can say the 3 or 4 best teams in that conference can be competitive year in and year out. That's what Coach Kearney is looking to continue to build with this Red Dragons team.
Well, it was quite the coaching carousel over the summer. Dave Klatsky, after a runner-up finish in the NCAA tournament, took his talents as the head coach from NYU to go to the reigning national champions at the Division I level to go to Florida. That brings Fareed down to New York City, his home, and brings McSloy from Drew to Ithaca, where he's been well met by this team. The players have loved him so far, but these first 2 games adjusting to the system, not quite where they want it to be. Down by 17 with 4:11 to go in this first half. Bombers still looking for a rhythm. The stats right now not in their favor, shooting just 20%, 8% from 3, and 50% from the line. Coach McSloy did emphasize how this season will be a crescendo. As time goes on, the Bombers will get better, and the version we see of them in February will be far better than the one right now, ideally. Possession starts for Cortland. Curry wraps himself around, kicks to the outside for Austin. Left elbow, loses his dribble. Is able to pick it back up and get it to Armbruster, the captain, on the top of the key. Pushes inside, 5 on the shot clock. Curry, left wing against Regev. Baseline, pushes forward, nearly earns himself a basket, but can't do it as the ball comes loose. 3:45, still down by 17 are the Bombers on a quiet first half from Matthew Zenker after 26 in game 1. He's been game planned against Colin.
They're sending 2 at him time and time again. It's how do you adjust? How do you become a playmaker?
He pushes inside this time. Right hook shot from the arc. Can't quite get it. Just 3 shots on the day for Zenker. Nearly had it there. On the other side, Cortland pushes and missed pass. Pushes it out of bounds. It's Bomber ball once again. We've seen Ithaca go on huge runs. We saw them start the game last time 17-3. They eventually got a lead in the second half and made it close. So this 17-point deficit not out of question to secure the game for Cortland, especially being in the first half.
Starts with defensive stops like the one that Nick Lemon just put on there.
Top of the key, Zenker. Zenker rotates to his left. On the right key, pivots and looks for the top of the key, and Regev. Regev swings to the outside. Ball just a little bit too high for the 6'1 guard in Jalen O'Neal. Out of bounds, and a turnover in favor of Cortland. 31 turnovers in game 1 for the Bombers. They've got 10 already tonight. I guess you could say it's better pace, but still not ideal for Ithaca.
I think the worst part for the Bombers thus far is that it seems like the guys in blue are running the court pretty darn well. It's just the end of these possessions, instead of good shot attempts like Ithaca has seen in the past, they're either late into the shot clock or their turnovers, not shot attempts at all.
2:45. It's Raymond who gets it to Arcuri. Back to Raymond, left side. Bounce pass underneath Arcuri. Great cut, signals for thanks. An awesome point, 29-10 now the score in favor of Cortland with 2:30 to go. Lemons, the freshman, pushes forward. Gives it up to Zenker. Zenker top of the key. Now right wing for O'Neal. Big passes from the Bombers. Penders hands it off to Lemons. Contested 3 gets blocked. Other side, Cortland pushing forward. Raymond fast down the lane. Up and good. 31 points for Cortland. Up 21 against the Bombers with 2 to play in the half. O'Neal slowing things down. Finds Penders, who hasn't taken a shot yet. Zenker now going to take a 3 from the left wing. Too strong. Rebound by Austin. Right block. Under 2 minutes. Lob pass. Davis. The slam. Up by 13 now. Or excuse me, 23 now is Cortland. Chest pass top of the key. Bombers looking to respond quick. It's Penders who does.
That's a momentum shifter from Penders. You're down 20. It's a ginormous lead, it appears, but it's not impossible to come back from. It's not great selection from Penders, but if you cash it, nobody seems to mind.
Austin trying to respond. His three-pointer off the side of the backboard. Keeps it himself down the lane. Reverse layup. Money. 35-13 the score. Every bucket matched from Cortland to the Bombers. Outside, O'Neal, 3-2 strong. Is able to get his own rebound, not before a foul.
I mean, Devin, it's just a Bombers team that's moving sluggish. On the possession before last, Zenker takes a deep three. It doesn't fall. That's all right. You live with that in possession, especially in a game where you're already not scoring a lot. But you got to get back in transition. For as hardy of a defender that Zenker is, it's almost surprising to see this team not moving with his speed.
Possession back with Cortland. Under a minute to go here in the half. Raymond moving things slow. Pushes to the right side. Davis, deep three this time. Money again.
Davis is a heck of a player.
He's been fantastic in limited minutes so far. Only 13 of the 20. Last possession here for the Bombers. Lasith off the left elbow. Gives it up. Cabral thinks about a three, top of the key. Doesn't like his shot. Swings it now to the corner. O'Neal, three. Front iron, snatched up the air by Lasith. Back to O'Neal. Left corner, gets the three this time. 16 the point total for the Bombers. 22 shy of Cortland at 38.
O'Neal's first bucket of the day. He started 0 for 4 from 3. Really nice to see that one fall.
8 seconds to play in the half. Raymond pushing fast. Finds his way to the basket. Ball comes loose out of bounds against the Bombers with 3.2 to play.
The thought process all has to be about the second half for this Bomber team. Get the stop here, but there are things that you really got to shift at half.
Lobs underneath. Arcuri close. Has a chance. Up for it. And good. Time expires in the half. And a statement right there with a 40-point half for the Cortland Red Dragons, leading 24 points over the Ithaca Bombers.
I mean, these metrics are just going to be so far in the favor of the Red Dragons. It pops off the page. Every aspect of the game you could imagine the Bombers trailing in, that's just the case. And it's not insurmountable, just a disappointing output, especially towards the last 10 minutes or so of that half.
Ithaca trying to keep pointing forward. We have Molly Golden on the sidelines with Coach McSloy in the meantime.
Sorry for the delay. Thanks so much, Coach. Coach, what did you see from your team in that first half?
Not much. We didn't come out ready to play. We know it's a big rivalry game. I think Cortland has a little bit more pep in their step. I think they're playing a little bit harder, getting to 50-50 balls. And we told our guys from the beginning that, you're not going to score in them on the first side of the offense. They're too good individually defending the basketball, and we're not executing the game plan at all.
What's the message in the locker room right now?
Well, I think the guys, the hope is that they know they played poorly, and we're down a huge deficit right now. We're down 24, and the goal is to chip away at this, but we're not going to do that if we don't do the things that we're asking.
Coach, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you, Molly. We now send things to our short break here at halftime in Cortland, New York. You're listening to Bomber Sports. Devin Jarvis alongside Colin Martin as well as Molly Golden as we take a break here in Cortland, send things to a break and come back with 20 more minutes left in the contest. We welcome you back on Bomber Sports. It's Coach Kearney as well as Molly Golden on the sidelines.
Thanks so much, guys, down here on the sideline with Coach. Coach, what'd you like from your team in that first half?
I thought we defended, right? We talk a lot about being a defensive team. We say defense is going to win us the game. Offense is going to tell us by how much. We know they're a team that presses, but in order for them to get in their press, they have to score. And so for us to hold them to 16 points in 20 minutes, that was awesome. But it's 0-0 now. And so we got to come out making sure we're ready to go.
What's the second half looking like for you guys? What was the locker room?
Yeah, I mean, guys were excited. Guys were hyped up. But, like, we got a little bit of an older group, so they understood, like, hey, fellas, 0-0. It starts with the first possession. Let's get a stop. Let's get a score. Let's get a stop. Let's get a score. But let's keep it going.
Coach, thank you so much.
Thank you. No problem.
Molly, Coach, thank you so much for your time. It's been a special day so far for Cortland. Won their first matchup by quite the number in the women's basketball contest. They're up 40-16 right now as we take things to half number 2 here at Whitney T. Corey Gymnasium. Devin Jarvis alongside Colin Martin with you here in Cortland on Bomber Sports. Molly Golden, you just heard her from the sidelines. Bombers are going to need a big half here.
Absolutely, and a 24-point disadvantage. You have 20 minutes on the clock. It's possible, of course, but not when you play like you did in the first half. And it's easier said than done. You know you can sit from the press box and say, hey, make more threes. How about we try an easy layup? It's not that simple when you get on the court. What is simple is making the right outlet pass to get down the court. Getting back on defense and getting your feet planted to make a stop possible. Again, not easy, not elementary, but certainly possible for the Bombers to play a much better half. It starts with the fundamentals.
Well, they start here with the ball. Alex Penders, Jalen O'Neill, Matthew Zenker, Evan Cabral, and Cole Wissing, the 5 out there, as well as Armbruster, Costin, Arcuri, Davis, and Austin for the other side in Cortland. Top of the key, Penders. He holds it, kicks it outside to O'Neill. O'Neill twitchy, moves left side, now gets it back. Cabral passes underneath into the low post on the right side for Penders. Moving around is O'Neill. Mid-range jumper, cash it. 18 points now for the Bombers. Down by 22 with 19:30 to play in the game. Press comes out for the Bombers. Can't steal it away from Arcuri. You heard from Coach Kearney there. The only way the press is effective is if Ithaca scores. They didn't do that much in half number 1. Trying to roll around is Davis. Davis back to the basket. Spin move. Shot goes up. Back iron. Ball tipped out. Collected by Costin on the left wing. He's been fantastic so far on both sides of the ball. Back underneath Davis. Ripped out of the air by Jalen O'Neill. Big stop there. Moving left to right in transition. Ball hits off his foot. Nearly goes out of bounds. He keeps it in his grasp. Penders now takes the shot. Pushes underneath. Doesn't like what he has by the basket. Swings it outside to Zenker now. Only 2 points on the day for him so far. He pushes the basket this time. Out of the rim, nearly floats in, but just is out. 18:40 to play. Ball loose again. Arcuri trying to get it. Possession with Ithaca. Now that press coming into effect.
Yeah, and that's Jay O'Neill right there. You talk about how you got to score for the press to matter, but not when you have wheels like Jalen O'Neill. At half court, get a hand on it, force confusion, give the Bombers the ball on offense again.
18:30 to play here in the half. Bombers moving left to right on the hardwood. It's Jalen O'Neill on the far mid-post. He's defensed by Costin. Back to the top of the key, Penders. Collects it after jumping. Gets it to Wissing. Wissing, low dribble. Kicks at the right wing for Matthew Zenker. Fates a shot, pushes underneath. 5 on the shot clock. Zenker, right corner. Penders, 3. Laces it. 5 consecutive points for the Bombers to open the half. The deficit down now to 19.
You can tell the Red Dragons are thinking about Penders. He hit that first 3 in motion. Now he's getting a lot of attention on the perimeter.
Davis on the offensive end on the other way. Left wing back against the mismatch in Jalen O'Neill. Works towards the basket. Likes what he has. Goes up for it. Great defense by O'Neill, but it's off O'Neill, out of bounds off the baseline, and still possession with the Red Dragons.
Jalen O'Neill, his low post defense shined for the Bombers last season. Not often can you say that about a point guard, but even with a size disadvantage, whether it be height, weight, or sometimes even muscle, Jalen O'Neill always looks in place with his defense. A really underrated skill.
Mismatch is clear now. Armbruster swings it into Costin. Costin drives baseline, up for the bucket, gets the points and the foul. First of the half for Cortland, and they do it with a statement.
Aaron Costin in his senior year sometimes it's not about how you progress all these brand new skills. You're not going into every season trying to get something new in your arsenal. It's about understanding what the best moves you already have are and making them that much better. Costin in the post, simple. Time and time again, that back shoulder has been money.
Cashes in on the three-point play, hitting the field goal, rather the free throw, was first team All-SUNYAC a season ago. Pass underneath, Cabral by the basket, and one for himself. Needed that one bad and responds quickly as he collects his team over to talk about it.
I'm a big fan of the NBA 2K games back in the day, and in the old ones, you had a teammate, and they had a nice connection, I would say. They called it orange juice fresh squeezed, and I absolutely love when you can see that out of Jalen O'Neal and Evan Cabral. Great pass, Cabral, nasty finish, and he completes the three-point play.
Three-point play for three-point play on back-to-back possessions. 43-24 the score in favor of Cortland. Moving the ball across half court a little slow here. Bombers doing a great job at making that slow. 23 seconds of the shot clock. Finally, they get it over. Arcuri pushing in the paint. Kicks to the left corner for Austin. His three-pointer good. 46-24. Cortland back up by 22 with 17 to play in the contest.
The problem with the full court press is if the team can break it quick, then they immediately have numbers Austin was unaccounted for.
O'Neal, crossover dribble, moves the left elbow and down. Ball comes loose, foul on the floor against number 10 in white, Armbruster. Armbruster, a really special player for this team. He's the unsung hero, as Coach Kearney put it. The third captain, just 4 points per game, but started 21 of 28 last season for 26 minutes and really makes an impact on this team as a leader. Zenker gets the inbound, right post, works in the post, gets his shot blocked but recovers. Bounce pass underneath, Wisink tries to go for it, foul on the way up. A lot of fouls coming out for Cortland. That one going to be their third of the half. If they can get into foul trouble early, that's only good for the Bombers en route to a comeback.
Yeah, and I wouldn't say it's self-inflicted by the Red Dragons. I think it's because of the way the Bombers came out firing. They're not settling for little over-the-top mid-range action. They're going straight to the rim time and time again. And I opened up the half talking about doing the simple things right. Well, free throws would be considered pretty simple to most.
Wisink misses the first one. His next one rattles down. Lubarov checked in for Penders. McKiernan checked in for Wisink. It's those two as well as Cabral, Zenker, and O'Neal on the floor. On the other side, the same starting five for the Red Dragons. Austin, Armbruster, Davis, Costin, and Arcuri. Press out for the Bombers, slowing things down. Costin in his own defensive paint finally crosses midcourt. Left wing Davis starts his dribble against the 6'9 center in Lubarov. Now brings it to the top of the key for Armbruster as he shakes his pinky and pointer finger to call a play. 16:30 left in the half. Cortland up by 21. Hands it off to Arcuri. Left corner. Pushes forward. Ball comes loose. Arcuri with his own rebound. Shot clock resets. Top of the key. Davis, a three. Front of the rim. Backboard out. It goes the other way after being knocked out of bounds. Last touch against Cortland and Aaron Costin.
Look at Tommy McKiernan in his Bomber debut of the season. Flying to the ball. You're not going to get a contest high on a shooter like that. So sometimes you got to throw him off, swipe low. It was just enough to change the rhythm.
Possession starts with David Lubarov. Hands it off to Cabral, left wing. Quick fires a three. Ball comes loose, though. Other side, Davis, transition. Can't handle to it. Last touch by Ithaca. McKiernan bringing that spark plug on defense off the bench.
Yeah, it's McKiernan again. You have a guy going down, and you know he's going to try to hit you with that over-the-head big man Euro step. That's really hard to defend from behind a guy with the ball. McKiernan just like a sensei, just pokes it straight out.
Couple subs for Cortland as the inbound comes. It's Raymond to do so. Finds Arcuri on the right wing. We'll get to the subs to you in a moment. Top of the key, Arcuri. Moves left side. Defense is Jalen O'Neal. Now Raymond gets it. Raymond bounce pass underneath high post. Arcuri against McKiernan. Ball comes loose, but a charge foul called against Arcuri. That one the fourth team foul. Just 4 minutes and 18 seconds in here in half number 2. Those subs again for the Cortland Red Dragons on the floor now. Chris McDonald, Kendall Arcuri, Aaron Costin, Nolan Raymond, as well as Xavier Lavelle.
And McKiernan took that last charge. He's fired up just from the defensive end.
46-25, Bombers down by 21, but have momentum here in half number 2. McKiernan fakes the 3 from the right wing, bounces it to the top of the key for Jalen O'Neal. Spins off the left elbow, top of the key this time once again. Cabral steps back for a deep 2, laces it. Cabral finding a rhythm here as the Bombers are outscoring Cortland in half number 2, 11-6. Press comes as the Bombers able to come away with a steal here across midcourt. Raymond loses it. Wissink with the steal. To the basket. Goes up for the shot. But a charge foul called against Wissink. Costin draws it. An eye for an eye. A charge for a charge.
Yeah, you got to be more creative if you're Cole Wissink there. What a defensive play. You swipe the ball. Then it's all you and Costin standing under the rim. Costin was taking the whole way. Didn't even extend his arms. Got him that charge position. But Wissink wanted to take it strong. Got caught up under the rim. Those two guys tap up as they got to wipe off the floor. Some big contact between two large individuals.
The press giving Cortland a little bit of trouble though. Bombers outscoring Cortland by 5 here in half number 2. Down by 19, 46-27 with exactly 15 to play. They're able to bring the ball across midcourt to the basket. Raymond, big shot, scoop, score. 14:50 to go. Lead back at 21 for Cortland. Lemons checks onto the floor. Swings it to Lubarov. The 6'9 center hands it off to Cabral on the left wing. Cabral through the legs dribble, kicks it to the corner for McKiernan. Now pass across the court was intended for Wissink. Who did it touch last as the ball goes out of bounds? Out against Cortland. Xavier Lavelle, the most recent one to touch it. So it stays with Ithaca with 19 on the shot clock and 14:35 on the game clock.
The Bombers offense has ran this a couple times. You get 5 out, Lubarov up high, do a dribble handoff and have him crash down low.
This time they go for McKiernan. Kicks it to the left wing for Lemons. Underneath, scoop shot off the window and down. Good for 2. Lemons with his first points of the day. The first year, the most impactful one of his category in just these first 2 games. Ball loose. Arcuri able to scoop it up. Find Raymond now on the right wing. Press again, making things difficult for Cortland with 14:15 to go in the half. The score 48-29. Raymond slowing things down, a yo-yo dribble with his left wing. It's a pick from McDonald, now kicks it to McDonald, left wing, deep 3. Shot front of the iron and picked up on the rebound on the right block by Evan Cabral. Cabral moving fast in transition. Behind the back pass, McKiernan fakes the shot, now steps in for a deep 2. Can't get in the floater, rebound by Raymond on the free throw line. Right to left move the Cortland Red Dragons up by 19 in this game as Raymond calls a timeout as time expires. Tempers get fiery as McKiernan knocked the ball out of Raymond's hands right as the timeout was called, with the Bombers and Cortland now connect. Let's send things down to the sidelines for Molly Golden.
Thanks so much, Devin. Down here for the Bombers, it's brotherly love. It's a family affair. Dan Regem joins his brother Yoav on this team for the Bombers. Yoav returns for his junior year here in the South Hill, and Mike McSloy had nothing but positive to say about his guard. He said he's a good shooter, he's athletic, and I think he's going to cause some problems for his opponent. And for his younger brother Dan, he had nothing but great things to say about the first year. He provides great size and length for us. All of these first years provide something a little different in Mike McSloy's first recruiting class here on the South Hill. Guys.
Mike McSloy inheriting that recruiting class from Waleed Fareed and Mike Sasso just 1 year ago. Doesn't have his own guys in the program other than Matthew Zenker.
But I think it's great for McSloy that while he and Coach Fareed, now at NYU, of course, former coach on the South Hill, they look for similar types of guys to the extent where, hey, a first-year student like Nick Lemons, who might not have been quote-unquote yours, is going to make a big impact. High-flying, defensive motors, shooters. That really fits the bill of nearly all of these freshmen on the roster.
Well, Coach wants athletes. He has athletes deep through his roster. Cortland out of the timeout picks things up. You're listening to Bomber Sports. Devin Jarvis alongside Colin Martin here. Molly Golden on the sidelines. Davis now back in the game, pushes the basket. Ball loose, rebounded by... out of bounds before a rebound collected.
Not often do you have to guess when a ball goes in the air that high. A bunch of Red Dragons and Bombers jumping up. Went off the hand of Lubarov last. Cortland holds on.
Cortland to stay with possession. Raymond on the near side of the basket to check in. Throws it in. Wilson takes the shot from the corner, guarded by 2. Bounces underneath McDonald before it's stripped from his hands by O'Neal, but a foul called, not clean.
That's an exceptional pass from Kendrick Wilson. That's not going to show up in the stat sheet. The Bombers do a great job forcing him into the far side corner. He is completely trapped. Bounce pass, nearly no look. Now the Red Dragons get to the line again. That is a way to work out of an offensive possession really well.
2 shots this time for McDonald, able to knock that one through. Cortland now 2 for 6 from the charity stripe so far today. On the floor for Cortland, it's Wilson, Raymond, McDonald, Davis, and Lavelle. Subs coming in for the Bombers, Lasith, Lemons, Penders, O'Neal, and Zenker on the floor. Second free throw rims out and rebounded by the Bombers. So they start their possession down just 20 points, just 49-29 the score. Lasith right elbow, looking for a man to pass to. Going to try and hand it off to Zenker at the top of the key. Lavelle, the defender, playing close. Gets it back underneath to Lasith, charges the basket, and scores. Shortest deficit since the first half for the Bombers at 18. 13 to play here in half number 2. Bombers slowly working their way back in this one. Outscoring the Cortland Red Dragons 15-9. Davis a 3 from the right wing. Off the front of the rim, Zenker the rebound. He's the tallest player on the floor for the Bombers right now. He pushes forward. Left wing, 3, Penders. High off the backboard. Who comes down with it? No one yet. McDonald now gets it. Davis in transition, goes out for the slam, fouled on the way there. Penders with the foul. He picks the fallen Davis up as he'll have a trip to the charity stripe for 2.
On the offensive end for Ithaca the last time down, really loved what you saw from Chris Lasith. He operates so well in that high pick, and you don't even want to call it a roll, you don't want to call it a pop, but kind of a sink roll. Don't drive all the way to the rim. Play in a no man's land that most people wouldn't like. That's where Lasith thrives and gets the layup. A turnover brings it the other way. Penders forced to foul, and it kind of wipes off a really productive pick and fade that I liked from Lasith on the Bomber side.
It's like a delayed roll. He sits there for just a moment, then starts his roll, finds himself open, and was very productive. First free throw through for Davis.
It just throws the timing of the defense off incredibly. You know, Lasith, especially on his strong side on the left, the big lefty, he's going to make that layup if guys just don't know when it's coming.
50 points, now 51 for Cortland after the second made free throw from Davis. He was 0 for 4 from the line going into that. 51-31 the score. O'Neal across midcourt with possession. Ball nearly comes loose. O'Neal barely keeps it up on the right wing. Spins, double team. Ball now loose. McDonald to Raymond. Free in transition. Up for the righty layup and down. 22 back the lead for Cortland. 12-11 the score. Cabral fast in transition. Pushes the basket up. It spirals through. Easy bucket for him. Lead down to 20 again.
Ithaca's transition offense has been so much better, just allowing too much free-flowing offense on the other side. Cortland's done well breaking the press in the second.
53-33 as Cortland slows things down. Under 12 and ticking here in half number 2. McDonald back to the basket on the right wing. Now faces the basket, Lasith the defender. Starts his dribble, kicks to the left wing. Raymond a 3, rattles through. 11:35 to play. The 3 comes, and the lead at 23 for the Red Dragons. O'Neal trying to respond on the other side. Mismatch underneath. Gets a shot blocked by McDonald. Snatched out of the air. McDonald right to left across the hardwood. Slows things down with his pass to Davis in the right wing. Wilson now caught up with a foul against Cabral. Stepped out of bounds. Bomber possession.
We got to talk about the freshman Nolan Raymond on the other side. 13 points, 6 for 10 from the field, and 5 assists. When the ball has been in that young man's hand, things have happened for the Red Dragons. Really showing up and out. A lot of different Cortland players can say they're having good days, but Raymond's might just be the most impressive.
He's been special so far today. 13 points, the leading scorer on this roster for the Red Dragons. Wissing on the right wing, holds the ball at his belt, now kicks at the top of the key. Lasith, now Penders left wing. Around the horn the Bombers go. Back to the top for Cabral. His 3, nothing but net as the clock strikes 11. 56-36 the score. Press out for the Bombers. Costin trying to work it across and finds Davis deep off the left wing. Slows things down with the leading scorer in Raymond. 6 for 10 so far today, 1 for 2 from deep in just his second game with the program. Underneath, Freeman Austin, easy bucket, no one there to defend. Back up to 58, go the Red Dragons. They're leading by 22.
That's what happens when you have facilitators like Costin and Davis. Those backdoor cuts become a lot more open.
Deep three, this time again for Cabral. He hits it again. Cabral trying to cut into the deficit himself. Gets his 16th of the day right there.
He's been the Bombers' best option on the offensive end by far.
Trouble in the Cortland Red Dragon backcourt. Costin slowing things down, hands it off to Raymond. Raymond pushes the paint, kicks the left corner for Raymond. Now pushes the baseline, able to find space. Austin, other corner, doesn't go. Off the rim, off the backboard, and into the hands of Matthew Zenker for his quiet day. Wissink, corner three, right side, just a little too strong. Costin with the rebound. Boy, would that have been a big basket.
That would have felt like a momentum changer. The Bombers still would have been in a hole, but a great pass from Cabral. Missed opportunity from Wissink.
Wilson, a three of his own, too strong. Lasith gets the board. Bombers push the floor left to right. Kicks the left wing for Penders. Penders sets a pick for Cabral as he faces shot. Now pushes baseline for a floater. His right-handed floater, no good, but off Davis. And possession stays with the Bombers. Both of these teams 0-1 coming into this game. Bombers dropped their opener 96-87 against SUNY Brockport. And Cortland against Rochester by just 5, 74-69. Lubarov checks into the game for Penders, hands it off to Cabral at the free throw line as he steps back outside the key and gives it up for Zenker on a deep two-point shot. Makes it, timeout called, 58-41 the score, lead down to 17 for the Red Dragons. They're doing everything right so far today, but Bombers slowly getting things back. The 17-point deficit, the smallest of the half.
Yeah, the flow of the offense is completely different from Ithaca half to half. And again, it starts with defense. Cortland, while they run in transition well, because that's just a part of their identity, Ithaca has not made it easy in this second half, and good defense turns into much easier offense, which the Bombers have seen the benefits of thus far.
Cortland 18, just over 10 minutes through. That's about what they have scored in the first quarter, or rather first half. But Bombers with 25 points in the second half thus far in just 10 minutes and 40 seconds surpasses their first half total by 9 in half the time.
Talk about a high-flying team. You're running up and down the court all day long. You're putting up a ton of shots. This is what that is supposed to look like for Ithaca. Not a bunch of turnovers, not lackluster defense, but instead making everybody work. That's where the Bombers want to be.
Bombers on a 5-0 run. Basketball being a game of runs, hoping they can turn that into more. Kendall Arcuri back on the floor for his season debut. He gets it off to Wilson on the right wing, who pushes inside. Arcuri left wing now for a three. Just misses off the left side of the rim. No one there for the rebound except the man who shot it in Arcuri. Slowing things down, 15 on the shot clock. Wilson at the right wing. Looks for a pass. Costin underneath. Ball comes loose. Still loose. Who has it? A foul against Tommy McKiernan as he trips up Costin, who went for the ball. Fifth flat team foul against the Bombers. On the other side, it's been a disciplined last 8 minutes for this Cortland defense foul-wise. They had 4 fouls with 16 minutes to go, and they still have 4 fouls with now 9 minutes to go.
Yeah, and Tommy McKiernan's not going to make a whole lot of friends with that play. You slide under for the loose ball. It shows hustle, but sometimes you got to show some heads up. You don't want to undercut a dude. The crowd went eerily silent. You know, there's a whole lot of hatred from both sides. McKiernan eventually gets helped up, says, hey, my bad. And in the meantime, it's a loose ball that Ithaca has seemed to force much more often over the last 5 to 7 minutes of game clock.
Under 9 minutes and ticking, 8:56 to be exact, as Wilson on the far side sets to inbound. Whistle blown before we get going. It'll be a foul against, looks like, the Bombers.
Looks like
David Lubarov.
Lubarov got tied up down low with Aaron Costin. That was a quick whistle.
16 fouls now. Next foul against the Bombers would be a 1-and-1. Austin far side corner. Gets the inbound, pushes inside, loses his dribble, goes back up for the shot. Good and one. 7th foul of the half. It means Cortland's in the bonus, but it also means a trip to the line for Isaiah Austin to make this a 3-point play in the lead back to 20 for Cortland.
This guard rotation of the Red Dragons has really shown up. The bigs are consistent, but Isaiah Austin, Nolan Raymond, Kendrick Wilson, all providing a different kind of spark. Isaiah Austin, just look at the way he plays. He's a fluid shooter. but really good at picking up fouls this game as well.
Missed the free throw, so the lead at 19 for the Red Dragons. Wisink on the right wing, pushes inside. Skips one underneath for Luberoff on the right block. Fakes the jumper, goes back up and cashes his points. 43-60 the score, 8:30 to play. Bombers right now only one man above 6 points. On the other side, Cortland has 5 as Jalen O'Neal was called for a foul on his press. But you talk about that depth on the side of the Bombers. We thought that was going to come out, but when you return 3 All-SUNYAC players, when you bring out a really strong freshman class who have played phenomenal so far, things are going to get difficult for you defensively, and that's what we've seen from the Bombers. Foul does put Armbruster on the line for the 1-and-1. Armbruster so far today, no points, no shots, no attempts from the free throw line. 8:30 on the clock, lead 60-43 for the Red Dragons. The first one falls for Armbruster.
And the biggest part for Ithaca here is if you're going to come back in a game like this, it's going to be by playing that physical brand of basketball. But you see as Armbruster lines up for his second one, your full court press can't be resulting in fouls, or else you're giving the opposing team free points every time.
They've been disciplined for the most part, but draw the foul right there. Second free throw not good. Bombers in possession. Quick fire from McKiernan, just rattles out. Ball still loose. Wilson recovers the rebound underneath at 5'11". He's been catching a couple of those. Arcuri past the other side. Hop step inside. Kicks it back out to Costin, top of the key. Starts his dribble, stops it at the right elbow. Pass underneath. Armbruster gets fouled by McKiernan on the way up. 9th team foul, still 1-and-1. Unless it is a shooting foul. McKiernan hated the call. Discouraged, expressed his displeasures with the ref who made the decision.
And Red Dragons fans, again, express their displeasures with Tommy McKiernan. That's what happens when you're a hustler. You're going to make some plays that don't look too smooth, but opposing crowds aren't going to like you too much. That play starts with Evan Cabral. You stunt the ball, go for a steal. He's got some of the best hands in the conference. It works 9 times out of 10. But when you see the 1 time out of 10, it leaves a back door wide open, and the foul was a necessity.
Armbruster gets his free throw good there. 62-43 now the score with 8:04 to play here in Whitney T. Corey Gymnasium. Second one from Armbruster, good. Davis going to come back on for Wilson. For Cortland, it's Davis, Costin, Austin, Armbruster, and Arcuri out there. Bombers have Wisink, Lemons, McKiernan, Cabral, and Luberoff. Left to right on the floor is the floor general in Cabral. Top of the key now, Luberoff gets it to the freshman in Lemons on the right wing. Luberoff charging now to the basket. Can't get the basket. Ball knocked loose, though. Fighting for a jump ball. That is called, but it will be Cortland's ball as they take things right to left here on the hardwood with 7:48 to play.
Ithaca going forward, you're going to walk out of here with a result, of course, they're hoping closer than the 20-point deficit they're in now. Then you take on a receiving votes Hamilton team. This out-of-conference for Ithaca will not be easy. These last 8 minutes mean a whole lot to the squad.
Austin, corner 3, rattles just out. Snatched out of the air by Luberoff in Bomber Blue. Other way, Lemon's going to try a 3 himself from the left wing. Laces it this time. 46-63, Bombers cut the deficit. Armbruster pushing forward, a foul this time against McKiernan. Again, he hates it, but the call comes and puts Armbruster on the line for 2.
You understand the disgruntlement from McKiernan a little bit more on that one, just diving all out for the ball, and the whistle doesn't go his way. Geez, you got to say, even when fouls are being picked up by this Bomber team, you're shooting yourself in the foot, you don't like it, but it's nothing willy-nilly. If there was such thing as a disciplined foul, which I'm sure head coach Mike McSloy would argue there is not, the Bombers are getting pretty close. They're going for it all, trying to make play after play, and no deficit has forced their mentality to look any different on the court. They're still battling.
McKiernan gets his third right there. It's him and Luberoff with 3. Other than Jalen O'Neal with 4, everyone else has less than that. 10 team fouls now in the half for the Bombers. It's Cortland in the double bonus.
It's a balanced scoring approach for the Red Dragons. Austin with 15, Davis with 12, Raymond with 13, Costin, Arcuri, both with 7 apiece. For the Bombers, you got Cabral with 16, and nobody else over 6. And it was 2 Alex Penders threes that just happened to find the bottom of the net. The scoring output just not where you want it. A lot of little things that haven't been going the Bombers' way. But when you're not making your shots, all of those said little things can really only give you so much.
First one good from Armbruster. Lead now at 18. Subs come on for the Bombers. It's Zenker, O'Neal, Penders who check on. They join Wissink and Lemons. Zenker, 4 points today. He had 26 in his debut. A lot slower of a day, Colin, for a guy who we expected the world of going into Game 2 after such an impression.
Yeah, and it's mostly been because of the Red Dragon defense. Zenker, 2 for 5 on the day. The percentage doesn't kill you. It's just you only take 5 shots. You're not in a position to score 26 points that way. And you got to be a little bit more aggressive. He worked his way to the line a lot versus Brockport. Not the case today.
Next one good from Armbruster. 65-46 the score. O'Neal on the other side for the Bombers on offense pushing in. Penders underneath trying to work inside, but a foul against Davis comes. 5th team foul of the half for Cortland. That's their first one in just about 9 minutes. They've been so disciplined on defense since the rough start.
Both sides have been showing incredible discipline. I think this is how head coach Mike McSloy would have wanted this game to go the whole time. This feels like a much more even duel.
Bombers get the ball back. O'Neal, free throw line against Arcuri, trying to muscle his way there, struggling, but turns around and puts it off the window and through for the bucket. 65-48 the score. Arcuri now pushing his way, gets it to Armbruster as Bombers regress on the press just a little bit. Able to bring it across midcourt. 20 seconds on the shot clock as Armbruster holds it at mid. Working against O'Neal, moves to the left side, gets it to Davis. Davis, top of the key. Spins it, Lavelle. Lavelle moving to his right side, passes the corner for Armbruster. Armbruster now underneath to Davis, left low post. Against Penders, and a charging foul called against Davis. Davis wondering where that one came from. No one fell to the floor. Probably the least contact you've seen in an offensive foul so far this game.
And again, you hear the roar from that crowd. It was a bit of an arm extension. If it was back in the 80s, 90s, and hey, maybe even early 2000s, give those guys some credit. That call doesn't get made. But we're in 2025, nearly 2026, and you can't pull that move.
Lob underneath to Zenker. Looking like a center. He puts it off the glass and in for a bucket. 15 points, the deficit now for the Bombers with 6 minutes and ticking to play. Armbruster, quick across midcourt. They've got numbers here. Austin to the basket, puts one up too strong. O'Neal with the rebound. Bombers get the possession back across midcourt. O'Neal slows it down, nearly loses his dribble. Arcuri on the defense. 4 seconds. Finally, Bombers bring it across midcourt with 20 to play. Lemons top of the key, dashes left to the basket. Underneath, shot and through. 13 points now, the deficit for Ithaca.
Smooth move. When the Bombers put it on the floor, things go well.
Working their way back, 5:30 to play as a 5-second shot clock call is violated from Cortland. The run starting to develop for Ithaca. A 9-2 run over the past 2:30, a 6-0 run over the past 2 minutes, with the lead at 13 for Cortland and a media timeout brought to the floor. What a run we've seen from both of these squads. It's starting to shift in Cortland's favor. The half right now, Cortland being outscored by 11.
It starts with the identity of this team. When the Bombers' press is clocking on all cylinders, it is an incredibly impressive crew, has completely killed any offensive juice the Red Dragons had, and now it truly feels all Bombers.
Ithaca can go on runs just like that, and we've seen that. 7 points really, really quickly. Bombers going to try and keep this in their favor. 13 points, really not that much if you get a team on a run, Colin. And for a team right now in Ithaca that goes on runs, good and bad a lot of times, they need to keep it all good for the rest of this half. Evan Cabral talked about that start of the game against Brockport, where they began things 17-3 and said it was kind of similar to what we did last year. We went down on runs too many times. Right now, you can't afford any more bad runs or you lose this game for one that I think a lot of people in this gym thought was already finished.
It certainly felt like it in that atmosphere where Cortland not only was dominating on the scoreboard, had the advantage in just straight up points, but the way they were playing felt on another tier than the Bombers. Right now, This feels like an Ithaca team that Mike McSploy has wanted to see all year. It's incredibly early, but in practice, he talks about their tenacity, the way the full court press bothers even their own guys in practice. So when they see a team in white jerseys on the road, it should really be giving them headaches. That's more what we've seen over the last couple of minutes.
Bombers lob one in. Penders top of the free throw line. Passes it underneath to Zenker. His back to the basket on the right block. Spins around other way. Goes up and gets it. 65-54. You've got a game, ladies and gentlemen, at Whitney T. Corey Gymnasium in Cortland, New York on a Cortica weekend. 5 minutes to play. Armbruster across midcourt. Gets it to Davis. Back to Armbruster as he crosses the C. Move is to his left. Cabral reaches in. Can't knock the ball loose as Cortland slows things down. 18, now 17 on the shot clock. Armbruster yo-yoing with his right. O'Neal on the defense. Bounce pass to the right wing for Arcuri. His back to the basket. Shouldering, finds underneath Lavelle. Goes out for the basket and through. Back up to 13 for Cortland. Cabral now on the left wing. Hands it off to Lemons. Lemons a three from the left wing. Bounces off the front rim and out. Collected by Davis on the right block.
It's a stretch you don't like there for the Bombers. It's an open shot for Lemons. Now a chance for the Bombers to get that momentum rolling on another try.
Armbruster pushes it away, threw it to no man's land. It's out of bounds. So Bombers get the possession back, 67-54. Mike McSloy on the far end, a John Cena you can't see me signal. I wonder what that play call means.
Well, I think we're about to find out on this baseline out of bounds. Expect some movement out of Cabral on the far side.
O'Neal brings the ball up the court, crosses midcourt, 24 on the shot clock. Moves to his right, finds his way underneath, works toward the paint, doesn't like what he has, brings it back out to Zenker at the top of the key. 16 to play, pushes underneath, back up off against the basket, just too strong on the layup attempt from Zenker. Ball back with Cortland leading by 13 with 4 to play. Ball game not done yet. Another errant pass. Is it saved by Cortland? A stoppage called. Let's see what they signal it as. We're still unsure on whose ball it is. It will be the Bombers. Sorry for the confusion. Not a clear ref signal call there.
Nah, pushing and shoving really could have gone either way, but as Jalen O'Neal crashed into the bench, popped back up, they'll say, hey, maybe the Red Dragons pushed him.
Next foul against Cortland puts Bombers in the bonus. 67-54 the score with 3:55 to play. Zenker top of the key. ISO ball dashes right. Off the backboard. Yes, sir. 67-56.
Less than 4 minutes left. It's all about this press for Ithaca.
McSloy doing his best defensive job from the sideline, putting his hands up as his teammates help him out.
Take all hands he can get.
Raymond on the far side on the right wing. Defense from Jalen O'Neal with 3:30 to play. Lead at 11 for Cortland. Raymond the leading scorer. Dashes it to the right wing for Kendall Arcuri. Curry moves to the right side, finds Wilson. Now the corner for Raymond. Takes the shot, steps in for a deep two. Too strong. Ball comes loose, collected by Costin. Back up for two. Cortland gets it. A huge bucket right there to halt momentum. Other side, Bombers move fast. In his face, Cabral for a three. Come on. You got it. Lead to 10 as a timeout is called by Mike McSloy and Mike Sasso and the Ithaca Bombers.
That's some signature hand down, man down. But look at the drive before. It was a battle underneath, one that Costin got the best of.
As momentum shifts Bombers' way, we bring things to the sideline for Molly Golden, who's been listening into the huddles.
Devin, you're right with that right there. The momentum has shifted right now. The entirety of right now, I have Matthew Zenker right now in my ear, just leading his team right now. The momentum has shifted. Ithaca has believe to themselves that they can come back and win this game. And the one interesting thing I want to point out too is Jose Padilla is right next to this coaching staff as right now too. He's got a boot on his left leg. He's not dressed and he won't play tonight, but he is right next to his coaching staff, giving them all the encouragement right now. And Mike McSloy in his huddle right now too. Guys.
Thank you very much, Molly. There's no captains on this Bomber team, but we've started to see some unofficial faces unofficially assume that role. Padilla with a foot injury, expected to play in this game until we saw him with a boot on earlier today, kind of stepping into a little bit of a captain role in this game. Some other names out there, Penders, who's really stood out. Matthew Zenker said Cabral, as well as Cole Wissink. You need those guys, especially in moments like these, down by 4 possessions, with 3 minutes to go.
Saw in the women's game earlier today. Zoraida Iqbal doesn't play. She is still a leader on the team, getting in on every huddle, being a vocal leader, even for more of a usual quiet presence. You could say similar things about Jose Padilla. More of a quiet guy, but still going to talk his talk on the sideline, help this team out. 5
on the floor for both sides. Cortland first. It's Arcuri, Austin, Wilson, Raymond, as well as Costin. Other side, Zenker, Wissink, Cabral, O'Neal, and Penders. 4 juniors and a senior out there for the Bombers. Other side, the press working well, trying to bring it across midcourt. Wilson does. Left wing, it's Austin. He slows things down. 20 seconds on the shot clock. Time is the friend of the Red Dragons here with under 3 to play. Wilson bounce pass to the right wing for Costin. Costin gets to Arcuri, top of the key. Now Wilson left side. Bombers were trying to work underneath, but Costin is working underneath. Reverse layup, good. Costin brings it back up to 12. 71-59 the score with 2:40 on the clock. Cabral, right wing, swings it to the top. Now left side for Jalen O'Neal. He pushes forward, lifts up just short. Arcuri with a board. These boards, these points on Cortland's side are so important as a foul is made against Ithaca. Let's see who's it against. If it's O'Neal, he's out of the game. It's going to be against Cabral. Cabral just picks up his first of the day right there.
One of the only guys on this Ithaca team that hasn't picked up a handful of fouls yet. 12-point advantage, 2:25 on the clock. If these two free throws fall, of course that makes the 14-point advantage. You're not comfortably in a foul game unless you're making shots of your own on the offensive side. That's the emphasis, of course. How can the Bombers move efficiently, get good looks, while also moving quickly and in a manner of good time? I mean, it starts with 15, Evan Cabral. How do you scheme that guy the ball nearly every time down the court?
Raymond's second is good, so he knocks both through. 73-59 the score. Press now coming from Cortland. They push forward, kick to the corner, it's Wissink. Now top of the key, Zenker takes the 3 and misses an air ball outside. The crowd roars, possession goes to the Cortland Red Dragons.
Not mad at the look at all. Jay O'Neal is special. He can go all the way down the court in no time. Hits Wissink on the far side. Rotation, of course, goes to Cole. Then you flip it one more. That was a good shot for Zenker, just missed the mark.
73-59, Cortland still in command with 2:10 to play. Leading scorer for Cortland, Austin, across midcourt behind the back pass. Bombers have to play really close defense and force turnovers. Cortland on the other side just wasting time. Far side, Austin likes the 3, doesn't take it. Brings things in handoff to Wilson on the right wing. Top of the key, now he's 6. 1:50 on the clock. Dashes to the left side, underneath, ball nearly loose. Arcuri now to the basket, lifts one up, puts it through, and the game slowly slipping out of reach for the Bombers.
Arcuri is just a heads-up sort of guy. You make a great cut, there's only 4 seconds left on the shot clock. That's perfection.
Cabral underneath, looking for his 21st, can't get it. Again, slowing things down are the Red Dragons. 1:30 to play, 75-59 the score. Austin gets the ball back, and they slow things down again. It's a foul game at this point, but the Bombers not doing so.
A minute and some change. Now down 18 or more. You can't foul it.
Charge to the basket. Austin with the and one. A lead that was once down to 10 is back up to 18 and what could be 19 after a charity stripe attempt. And the concession out there for the Bombers with the freshman subs in. On the floor now for the Bombers, Tyler Okai-Coy, Lawrence Brady, Tommy McKiernan, Chris Lasith. And the last one being Yoav Regev. Austin for his three-point play. They go up by 19. Just out. 1:11 to play. Bombers essentially conceding this game. Too many points to come back from and too little of time. Lasith, top of the key, back to the basket, hands it off to Tyler Okai-Coy for his first touch of the season as a Bomber. Nearly turns it over, but a foul called against Cortland. That will put Okai-Coy to the line for a 1-and-1.
Yeah, and for Okai-Coy, first-year student out of Harlem, just getting these moments on the court. It sounds silly sometimes. Of course, when you get a young guy on the court for the first time, it's important. You want to get everyone accustomed to this team. But to see this freshman class that is so large, start to understand what their roles may be. Well, hey, maybe Tyler is not a contributor on the court this season, but the more reps he gets in real game time looks, this is a real basketball team he's playing against in a real environment in Cortland, New York, a really good Division III program. Just get into the flow of things, and that's what you take away from this trip to the line.
Okai Koi, hits his first free throw. So gets set to go for his second with 59.9 remaining on the clock. Second one is good. And it's a 77-61 lead for the Red Dragons. After this loss, the Bombers will be 0-2 on the season. 0-2 in the Cortico rivalry this week as well. Bombers trying to play aggressive defense, but with the subs out.
Devin, they didn't start that clock until right now. So these guys get an extra 15 seconds to play some hoops tonight.
Pushing inside is Pacheco to the outside of three from Joe Evangelista. The freshman with his first minutes and points of the season brings the lead to 19.
Goes both ways. Those first-year students on the court, that way a little bit more flashy to get your points.
Okai Koi, top, pushes underneath, floater in the paint, too strong, kicks outside, rebound by Frank DeStefano. Press still out there for the Bombers, still keep their identity true. Slowing things down once again with the shot clock and game clock not separated by any. Shot clock dark. Cortland with the ball. Claps erupts as Cortland get their first win of the season at home against their arch rival in Ithaca College. 80-61, the final score as time expires here at Whitney T. Corey Gymnasium in Cortland, New York.
The initial takeaways for that game for Ithaca are really, you dug yourself into a hole early, but the way the Bombers played that second half was more on brand with what you want out of a competitive game like this. Both teams go on runs, you play solid defense, your press starts to show why it exists in the first place by wearing out the Red Dragons later into that game, and buckets started to fall more often. Evan Cabral finishes the game with 19. A lot of that scoring oomph came from him, and it came in parts of the game that felt crucial. So it's a 19-point victory for Cortland, but a game that was once only separated by 10, and a game that going into halftime was separated by a whole lot more.
A much better second half for Ithaca, but of course, can't get the win. A rough day for overall Ithaca basketball. Drop 0-2 and get outscored by double digits in both games. Just a really special performance on either side. But Cortland on top.
Yeah, and talking about some of the Red Dragons' top guys. Austin with 17, Raymond with 15, Davis with 12, Costin with 11. You have four guys, including Raymond, who comes off the bench in the double digits. And the shooting efficiency, you're happy with the day where you go 31 for 64 and put up 80 points. A lot of those shots tough. And Ithaca and Cortland both really couldn't connect from deep in the first. Cortland finishes out the day 32% from behind the arc. Again, serviceable. You live with that, especially when you can hold on for a win.
Well, after his first win of the season, we have Molly Golden alongside Coach Kearney on the sideline. Molly?
Colin, thanks so much down here with Coach. Coach, a win on Cortico weekend for you and your guys. What's this mean to you?
It's awesome, right? Like, being at home, we only have 3 home games in the first semester, 1 home game in a non-conference. So being able to be back in Corey Gymnasium, have our fans out here, have our women take care of the business to set the tone for the night, and our guys to be able to get it done, it was awesome.
Your offense exploded this entire game. What was the message you've been pushing to them all week, kind of get them to this moment?
I mean, we kind of talked about it. Like, we have a lot of mismatches within our offense. We got guys that can shoot. We got post players that can win their matchup down low. And so we talk a lot about taking what the defense gives us. We knew they were going to come in and pressure, and we didn't want to, succumb to their pressure, which we did in the second half. We wanted to be aggressive, and then we got a lot of 3-on-2, 2-on-1 opportunities.
Coach, thank you so much.
Thank you. No problem. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you, Molly. Fantastic work from the both of you. Coach gets the win, and now Ithaca sits 0-2. It's a conversation need to be had because you were expecting big things with a lot of your pieces returning, and a coach who seemed to fit really well into this Ithaca program But as we've emphasized before, this is a growing process. The basketball being played now is far from the one being played in the future.
Devin, I think you hit the nail on the head because your initial point is correct. It is a lot of returning talent. It is a new coach that fits the program well. The problem is they just haven't fit yet. And you have to emphasize yet. It's 0-2, but these are by far, if I can put it bluntly, probably the two least important games of your schedule. They're your first two, they're out of conference, and yes, well, a lot of times you can use games like these as a measuring stick to see how good you really are. I don't think that's the case with so much new blood in the program, especially with a head coach. I think the best players on this Ithaca team, with Zenker in game number 1 and Cabral today, have shown they have the scoring that you need to be competitive. And it's just when everybody else on the team can really mesh together is the question. I think at least you and I up here have no doubt that that will happen.
Well, next for these two teams will probably be a little bit of a quiet home fan day, you can guess. Each of their next games this coming Saturday, the same day as the 66th Cortland Jug in Ithaca, New York, between those two powerful football squads. For Cortland, it's Farmingdale State at 1 p.m. on that Saturday. And on the other side, it's Receiving Votes Hamilton for the Bombers in what should be a pretty solid game. One only lost by 5 by the Bombers a year ago at home. They travel on the road now to take on Hamilton. Well, we really appreciate you listening to our broadcast so far today. Thank you so much for everyone involved. Fran Elia, the Cortland SID, who made this trip possible, as well as Justin Lutz and Frank Meyer, our own sports information directors. And another thank you to Aaron Brouillet, the athletic director for Ithaca College. Thank you so much for listening to Bomber Sports here in Cortland, New York. We say goodbye, but tune in to 92 WICB on Saturday for some Cortland football. It'll be Devin, Colin, as well as Molly, all with you once again for the 66th Cortland Jug. Thanks so much for listening, and we'll see you next time.